just added 5 materials in a turn and a half. Okay, today we're going to do a quick steelhead fly. The only products we need is our 5D chromer brush, little black fly fur, and today I'm going to use a little blue fly fur in there. For tools, really you don't need a whole lot. You need a bodkin, a pair of scissors, some flush cutters. Start with the tail. I'm going to take about a 1/2 inch wide by about 1/4 cut. Should be able to do it with one snip of your 2-inch scissors. I'll pull everything out the back side of that. What I'm looking to do here is get the tips of that back to whatever size hook I'm going to put in. I like throwing in big hooks, so this is going to be a big old piece. It's one of the reasons that we made the fly fur so long, was that you'd have options for reaches like this. Now what I like to do is kind of pull it, cinch it in nice and tight, and then I don't really trim much off back here. I want to tie it in. It's going to make that thing last all day long. Tie back into it. All that movement's back there. Pull any stragglers back forward. Tidy those up. And like always, throw in that whip at every material. It's going to keep your fly from turning on you. Keep it from coming apart at the end of the day. You finally got into a pot of fish, you don't want your fly falling apart. All right, now for the brush. These are really designed to build you up a good profile with just a turn or two. I like about a turn and a half. Lots of wraps in there. We want that to grab so tight that it's not rolling around the shank as I bring it forward. Palmer it, fluff it down, pull it forward, pull those silicone legs back as you come around. Give you a nicer finish. Doesn't take much. It's got a lot of flash in it. It's got a lot of movement. We just added 5 materials in a turn and a half. Flush cutters, not your scissors. Push with my thumbnail. I'm pushing the tip of that wire forward so that as I come around with my thread, it's not cutting off my thread. Still will once in a while, but if you push that down and forward, no big deal. Here's the important part for the bodkin. Get in there. You can get all that material to fluff out. It's going to be fibers that get trapped as you come around. And the fuller you want it, the more you tease out. It's okay if you break some of them as you go. Still plenty of material there. All right, here's a little something tricky. You can put a full collar. You could throw schlappen around at this point. You could put some marabou in. Here's how I do it with the fly fur that I've started finding that I really like. What I do is I tie in just a small clump. I save all of that under fur. I'm going to use that for my whip finish at the end, or for my head finish. All right, here's the trick. Grab it right down at those tips. Come up between your fingers and down. Come back up and around like this before you go down on the shank, and then cinch it down. 2 light wraps. If I pull straight up, I can get the full length of that fiber out of there without having to do much trimming afterwards. I am throwing this off to the side. It's about a 45 degree from the top. I'm going to go in and give just those last fibers just a little trim. Try to eliminate bulk wherever we can. It's all out. Now I'm going to go to the other side. This is going to give that stability, that design of a wing. It's going to have a lot more movement than a lot of other wing materials. Go. I'm going to come out about the same, and I'm just coming off of this side, coming towards me this time. Run forward, pull everything back, hold it in position as I wrap. There we go. Trim again, keep it tidy. Like that. We're going to keep cleaning it up as we go. And then I like to put just kind of as a stabilizing. This is optional, but I really like putting in a beard, and often I'll tie in a different color here. So we could go with the same. I'm going to throw in a little black, a little contrast in this whole thing again. I'm matching what I put in for a tail. This just really holds it in one spot. I don't want it drifting around. I can just pull that material back. I don't have to totally eliminate it. It'll add a little extra grab. At the end, you can kind of see how this is working together here. And all we've got to do is a little finish job for the head here. So I'm going to do a regular old dubbing loop. All right, the tool I didn't mention, that is one of my favorite tools on the bench, gives me so many options, is that dubbing whirler of ours, that Wasatch dubbing whirler. Once I've got that in there, keep my finger in the middle of the loop. I'm just going to line up my tips of all the blue underfur. And I could blend this. I could do this with a little pink, a little black. Lots of options here. I try not to put too much flash up in the head. Again, I go really sparse. I try to spread that out because when I spin this, it's going to tighten up and it's going to shorten up. And I want to get a couple wraps around and through between the eyes. So I spread that out as best I can, spin it up. Don't want to break that thread, but I do want to get it in nice and tight. Usually the whirler will stop spinning when you're about tight enough there. Now I'm coming in with my bodkin. I'm grabbing that all the way down to the thread. I'm teasing that material back out. I want that to stand out nicely. Sometimes you just run your fingers up and down. It's so soft, it's like rabbit fur in there. A little comes out, don't worry. There's plenty in there. Now I'm going to get my thread forward of my eye. I'm going to come around behind, make sure I'm not grabbing other materials. And again, I like just teasing that out. I like it to have that crazy hair. It's just when it gets wet, it's just so much good movement. There we go. I don't have to use it all. Just kind of to wherever it makes a nice finished head. See, those eyes can pop out. And then without cutting with your scissors, you just kind of come in, barely open them, run them on your loop, and just push. We're not trying to cut. We don't want to cut out all the nice fibers we just tied in. I'm not crowding my eye. My dumbbells were back far enough. I give a nice little finish head to it. There we have it. The Okafi Chromer Deluxe. That's going to catch you some fish. Get it out there and get it in front of them.